Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of March 22nd to the 28th of 2021. All right, so this week we are approaching the heightened phase of the lunar month, the full moon, at the end of the week. So we'll likely notice that, first of all, coming into this week, maybe it's still good to challenge ourselves and implement some things from the new moon, which was a week ago, because we will still be in the first quarter phase, which maybe you noticed over the weekend that it is good to challenge ourselves and really implement things. But as we go through the rest of the week, this week we'll notice some momentum, we'll notice some wind in our sails as we do get to the heightened phase of the lunar month, which is harvest time, and also seeing where we might make some shifts and changes to further develop the energy. And the energy has been very much around Pisces with the Sun and Venus here. So it is about doing what's important on a soul level at this time, what's more spiritually meaningful, and what's going to bring in more peace into our life, spiritually speaking. So this week we do have the conjunction between Venus and the Sun in Pisces. So all week I think it's great for seeing what we value, what we enjoy, and our relationships as well, probably coming to some insights and a fresh new beginning from that, the middle part of the week. All right, so other than this, we have some aspects. Mercury will be squaring Mars and Venus conjoined Chiron. So some other minor things in that context. So let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to look at this first starting with Monday, March 22nd of 2021. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky, which is different from mainstream astrology. You will notice a lot of the signs I'm saying are different. Like, for example, I'm going to say that the full moon is in Virgo, but you maybe have heard it be in Libra in mainstream astrology. So do know the signs are different in the system, and if you need more information on that, definitely check out the link down below. All right, so let's do a quick recap where everything is in the sky coming into this week and where things are pretty much staying. We don't have any major sign changes this week. So Sun and Venus in very watery Pisces. It's been a major theme here of the deep emotional, spiritual, unconscious elements of life really being brought to the surface these past couple weeks. And so it's been and will continue to be a great time of really finding more peace in our life fundamentally. Maybe this is through rest, sleep. Maybe it's through doing things more important on a soul level and on a spiritual level in our life. Maybe it's through spiritual activities. Maybe it's through psychology or going into the unconscious. So whatever it is, that is about illuminating and being aware of all the deeper elements of life, especially spiritually or emotionally, or especially psychologically or with the unconscious. Great time of doing this and great time of setting intentions with this. And I think we'll notice a lot of new chapters coming out of this with the Sun-Venus conjunction that we'll be talking about here. Now, Mercury is in Aquarius, and so our minds are very visionary, as they have been. So great to still be thinking about future things for ourselves, maybe future aspirations, future potentials, but maybe also for the world and that future, the collective as well. Very progressive, very forward-thinking, and innovative mind certainly available. And Mars in Taurus, where he's been for the past month plus, still very good for the more stable and steady approach to taking action. Mars is our drive and Taurus is the bull. And so when we are taking action, I think it's great to take things one step at a time at this time and to stop and smell the roses. This can bring out a lot of self-reliance, a lot of resourceful energy, which is great. And so channeling that into constructive ways, again, slowly, steadily, is a great way of working with Mars in Taurus. All right, so coming into the week, we are in the first quarter phase, the square between the Sun and Moon, which we likely felt over the weekend as well, where we usually come to our first challenges of the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle started a week ago from Monday, and in this case, now it's a great time of implementing and challenging ourselves to implement all the new insights from the new moon a week ago. And in this context, we're dealing with two very different energies. Again, it is fundamentally about bringing more peace into our life and doing things more important, again, for peace and spiritually. But in this case, maybe using our minds to do that. The moon in Gemini on Monday could be very great for gaining information and gaining knowledge, and perhaps even communication type of stuff. So great day there around Monday for all forms of synergy of learning, synergy of sharing as well. And Mars will still be trining up to Saturn, so there's still a productive energy and a good grounded energy coming into this week from the weekend. Anything that does require discipline or patience, responsibility could actually be quite harmonious, or at least easy to implement, this early part of the week here. Now, once we do get to the Tuesday and Wednesday time period, the moon will be going into protective Cancer. So Tuesday, Wednesday, great for creating that protective environment for ourselves, to be caring for ourselves, nurturing for ourselves, but also for others as well, of course. So caring for, protecting, nurturing, those that are close to us. So great to do that, essentially creating that protective environment for ourselves and others so we can connect to the softer and emotional elements of life, what's important to us on an inner level. And these couple days here, there might be some fire though with a lot of this water. I think it'll still be very watery Tuesday, Wednesday, but there is some fire coming through, particularly our minds. So we have Mars, the planet of fire, of directness, of needs, of assertiveness, in a square with Mercury, the planet of our minds and our communications. So very good to see that, Tuesday, Wednesday is about finding balance with this fire energy. If there's too much of it, too much attachment, too much of those needs and drives in terms of maybe just our routines, whatever's going on at a daily level or how we're thinking and communicating, if there's too much fire, being conscious of that can help balance that out, right? And also if there's not enough, if there isn't enough initiative or, assertiveness or fire energy in our routines or in our communications, being conscious of that can help that become implemented. So finding that equilibrium between the fire when it comes to our routines, when it comes to our communications, I think is great these couple days, and it can actually be very constructive. Any intentional fire energy you do want to direct towards learning, towards gaining information, towards communication, can be extremely constructive these couple days here. And this is really where we start to notice a bit more of the momentum. We'll start to come into the gibbous phase of the lunar cycle, coming out of the first challenges of the lunar cycle from the weekend, and starting to notice some momentum as we do approach the full moon at the end of the week, which again will be the heightened and harvest phase of the cycle. So momentum here, and then once we do get to this Thursday, Friday time, the moon will be going into Leo. And so this is going to be a great time, Thursday through Saturday, really, for self-expression. It is different from the deep watery energy of Pisces. So while we are still getting into that, what's important spiritually and on a soul level, expressing ourselves nonetheless. Playfulness, creativity, passion, doing what we love, expressing ourselves is a great way of working with those few days, and we may notice a bit of a theme around that. But this is really where the Sun and Venus do conjoin and where the energy does get the strongest. So this is taking place all week, but again, strongest probably around Thursday and Friday, is that we are coming to a new awareness about our values and our relationships, right? So the Sun is that illumination, and it's shining that light on Venus-related things, which is values and relationships. And so this is all in the context of Pisces, of what's important on a soul level. So Sun's already been illuminating this for us, and now it could be definitely illuminating it in our relationships and also with our enjoyments of life. So a great time of being aware of how is our relationship life going, for example. How are we relating? Is there reciprocity, mutuality? And is our connection in our relationships accepting with Pisces, unconditional to obviously limits with boundaries, but to some degree accepting, right? And again, connecting in that more spiritually meaningful and deeper emotional way, right? I think that's a great intention to set. And then with our values as well, are we enjoying these things? Meditation, peace, alone time, creativity, imagination could be a great time for this with Venus and Pisces. So are we enjoying, are we seeing the values of these deeper watery things and spiritual things in life? So it's likely a whole new chapter with this emerging coming out of Thursday, Friday, where it's new values, new understandings about the deeper emotional and spiritual elements of what we value and also of our relationships as well. So great to kind of sit with the energy and see what emerges. But it's going to happen probably very naturally, as most conjunctions do. And do keep in mind that this is also considered combust energy, meaning that the Sun is the dominant energy. If we were to look up at the sky, we wouldn't even see Venus. So when it comes to values and relationships, a lot of fire might be drowning that out. So it is good to bring, again, extra attention to how we're connecting, how we're relating, how things are fair and mutual, and again, what we enjoy on a deeper spiritual level, just in general with our values. And that can help balance that out, especially if it, if the passion of that fire or even just the unconscious is drowning out the Venus-related things. By bringing extra attention to that, it can help it channel through much more constructively and healthfully. So we just want to make sure we're not doing these things sort of unconsciously or without awareness, because the sun is drowning out that Venus energy. But nonetheless, definitely a time of new beginnings, fresh new starts. This, with Venus direct, happens once a year. Of course, Venus will go retrograde. That's another contact, but this is about a once a year thing. And so it is about new values, new understandings about our values and relationships. In this context with Pisces, what's more deeply spiritually meaningful and satisfying, right? So give it some time as we get through the rest of the week and into next week in terms of this new beginning emerging from that. And then, of course, we will be approaching the full moon, which will be on Sunday. And that's going to be in Virgo, which is the balancing point of Pisces. Pisces is the deep water, and Virgo is the earth. It's the grounding energy. And this is what's very important, right? If we look at those that do find the healthiest or, the healthy levels of peace and well-being, let's say, for an example, monks or very spiritual individuals, it takes a tremendous amount of discipline to do that stuff healthfully, right? And that's where Virgo comes in. Virgo's the self-discipline. It's the work. It's health, diet, it's rituals, it's routines, good habits, right? And our work and service, right? These are the things that ground the spiritual energies. So the full moon is going to be helping us now incorporate more Virgo energy to balance out the Pisces energy and to help that deep, watery Pisces energy find a healthy expression. And the healthy expression is usually through our work service, is through self-discipline, things like meditation or health and diet or personal development. All right, this is where those healthy levels of peace and spiritual beingness that we're seeking with Pisces is found. Right, so I'll of course make a separate video on this for the full moon, but essentially, how can we incorporate more of the work, the self-discipline, and the healthy habits to ground this spiritual peace that we're seeking or needing at this time with Pisces. The Sun and Venus will also be going over Chiron. The new moon will be conjunct Chiron as well. So it could be some healing energy coming out of this. So a great time of seeing if there are some wounds we can face, some healing we can do, both with those relationships and just in general. And again, that is in a sense also like a new beginning, which we're seeing, again, probably earlier in the week as well with the conjunction with Sun and Venus. All right, everyone, so that's the week in a nutshell. Most important thing, put simply, is we are approaching the full moon. So more momentum as we go through the week, and great to set intentions for what we do want to maybe further develop from the new moon a week ago this week as we approach the harvest phase. It's a great time of, again, turning inward, doing what's important on a spiritual and soul level, especially in the context of being aware of our values and our relationship energy, and how that Piscean receptive energy is coming through there, and probably noticing some new beginnings emerging from that this middle part of the week onwards. And then coming up to awareness during the full moon of incorporating that Virgo improvement and grounding energy to ground out this watery time period. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you all next time for the next weekly forecast. Take care.